245 are in the upper house, which is called the House of Counselors. And as I said a moment ago, the House of Counselors is the weaker of the two bodies. In the pre-war period, it was called essentially the House of Peers. So it was the nobility, and it was those who were essentially, uh, a peer system. So it was essentially hereditary that they were going to be in this position. So they were the elite of the elite, the old families. Um, and then the House of Representatives was the popular uh, house, and where, if you met certain conditions, either age-wise or in the pre-war period, tax-wise, if you paid a certain tax, percentage of your tax, uh, in other words, you made enough money, you could be eligible for elections. So the House of Representatives today is 465 members. So combining that becomes 710. The number of people in the House of Representatives is based on uh, population. So when Japan's population was higher, there were slightly more people. Currently, the House of Representatives and the upper house are controlled by the ruling party. And the upper house is chosen every 6 years, and the lower house is chosen every 4 years, unless the prime minister dissolves the lower house. With the upper house, 121 members are chosen every 3 years. So, for example, if let's see, when was the last contest? Was 2019. In 2022, there'll be an election for the upper house for only half the upper house. They were the ones who were chosen in 2016. They're up for re-election. The ones chosen in 2019 don't have to run until 2025. So they serve 6 years. The House of Representatives is the more intense one. They never know when the parliament's going to get dissolved, and they have to run for election again. And because it's a smaller district, they're respected more because they really truly represent the interests of that district, that constituency. And they will be coming up for election this fall because the full 4-year term is going to be completed. And in 1996, they adopted a single seat constituency, which means that the candidates that are running in that district, only one of them is going to get chosen. In the old day, before that, they had a larger district and they had multiple seats being chosen. So you could have somebody in that district from the ruling party and the opposition party being chosen simultaneously. You could also have a situation where the ruling party ran 2 or 3 candidates from each of their factions, and the same party could have 2 people winning in that district. So it all depended, but now it's a single seat constituency. And that was seen as a good thing 25 years ago, but now it's not seen as a good thing because of populism. They try to say everything to everybody rather than their true convictions.
Okay, so I'm getting message that you should come on this show again for part two, because I think my viewers have so many questions for you. There are so many questions here, but because of our time, I think interesting question about growing Chinese footprints on the African continent. Like so many questions, but because of our time, we have to end here. I'm sorry,
Okay.
viewers. I think we definitely going to have a part two of this. Yes, because we're enjoying your show today. At least we knew less
Th-
about the Japanese politics, but throwing light on it today, I think we have so much interest in. So thank you so much, Doctor, for
Thank you.
coming to
Thank you very
our
much.
show. We also wanted to
Thank
know
you
the
for inviting
names
me.
of your books. We have Backroom Politics, The
Hmm.
Japanese Ground Self-Defense,
Hmm.
and can you tell us one or two of
Oh
it?
God,
I think there are too
there's,
much.
yeah, there are a lot about politics. Um, there's uh, a book that I translated called The Political History of Modern Japan.
Okay,
The author was Kitaoka, but I translated the book.
okay.
Um, there's the Prime Ministers of Post-War Japan,
Mm,
1945 to 1995. Um, there's the Diplomatic History of Post-War Japan. Uh, let's see. There's a book about Miyazawa Kiichi called Secret Talks Between Tokyo and Washington.
oh,
Um, let's see. Yeah, there's a lot. Um, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So
I'm
we
sorry. There's a
definitely
lot,
need
but
to
you
do
can.
part two
Yeah.
so that you
Hmm.
can have time to write them down for us. Okay, so if my producer can do this, our viewer is asking for his personal website that he wants to see it on the screen so that they can. So please, can you tell us your website again? One more.
Yes. It's www.robert D as in David
Yeah,
Eldridge. Yeah.
Eldridge
Yes. ELDRIDGE.com.
.com. Okay, so
Yeah.
www.robertdeldridge.com. So
Correct.
please, you can visit that website and you're going to know more. Okay, so thank you so much, Doctor.
My
So,
pleasure.
do you have a soft copy of your books on sale?
I'm sorry.
Do you have a soft copy of your books on sale?
Soft copy being like a soft cover or an ebook.
Yes, yeah, soft
E-
cover or ebook, any of them.
yeah, some of the books are soft covers. Uh,
Mm,
and then as far as Kindle and ebooks, most of
okay,
them I believe are on that. And there's one book that many people may be interested in.
okay,
It's called as an Japan as an Immigration Nation. And
okay.
the original author was Sakanaka, and I translated the book. But it's really interesting about uh, making
Can you please come
Japan much more
again? Japan
international
as an
as
immigration.
an nation.
Okay, as
And
an immigration nation.
yeah, so it talks about the potential for Japan to embrace immigrants more.
Okay. All right, all right. Thank you so much. Before we leave, our next program will be coming on very shortly. I think I've taken their time. Please forgive me. So we have the Jafric Live Worship, which starts from 6 p.m. Please don't go anywhere. Let's stay tuned.
My wife said, if you win, we'll fly to Asia. If I win, we'll fly to Paris. I bet you won't get toned with just Tai Chi walking before Christmas. Guess who won?
My dad can't lose weight with Tai Chi, so it's a scam?
Oh, no, he probably just doing it wrong. Most men do Tai Chi wrong, and that's exactly why they can't lose weight. How old is your father?
He is 56.
Oh, perfect. By the end of November, you won't even recognize him.
But what if he hasn't worked out in years?
That's even better. Tai Chi was built for men 40 plus.
Isn't the gym better after 40?
The gym breaks you. Tai Chi will make you feel better and lose weight faster than in your 20s.
Does he need any equipment?
No, his body is enough. Just do it for 9 minutes a day, and see your body feel younger.
So what's the first step?
Click the link, get the app, and start tomorrow.
What happens if my husband starts Tai Chi tomorrow morning and follows it for 28 days?
You won't believe his results by the end of the month. This is how Tai Chi workouts work.
But what if he hasn't worked out in years?
He can start small, that's fine. This program is designed specifically for beginner men age 40 to 60 plus.
Isn't a gym better?
Gym doesn't work after 40. Do Tai Chi to live longer, healthier, and happier.
Any equipment required?
No, body is enough to build a strong physique and a clear mind.
How to start?
Just get the app and start tomorrow.
3 reasons to start Tai Chi workout this summer. In 1 week, you'll see your energy. In 2 weeks, you'll feel your breath. In 3 weeks, you'll have energy and your wife won't believe your results. Here is the personalized plan of short Tai Chi workouts tailored for beginners over 50. It takes just 7 minutes per day. Beginner friendly and requires no equipment. You can work out anytime, anywhere. Just open the app and follow along.
Is it okay? おー、この頃からスマホ一つで移動ができるようになったんだ。まあもっと便利になるんだけどね。
移動をもっと快適に JR 東日本は技術と想像力で移動の未来を作ります。もう
迎えが来ちゃった。じゃあね。
明日のデザイン JR 東日本。
If you want better conversations where people actually listen to you, where you stop rambling, where you sound sharp, fast, decisive, then today's episode is for you. Because I've realized something. Communication isn't a soft skill, it's a science. And scientists can now tell you what makes someone magnetic and what makes someone instantly forgettable. So I'm going to give you a bunch of research-backed, neuroscience-backed communication tools that I've realized almost all of the top 1% use, but nobody else talks about. This is how you change the way you speak in minutes, not years. Mindset shift number 1. People mirror your micro behaviors in about 200 milliseconds. Think like less than the blink of an eye. This is something called the neuroecho effect, and it's pretty wild. So neuroscientists at the University of Parma discovered that your brain has mirror neurons that fire within 200 milliseconds of watching someone else move or emote, which basically means people don't respond to what you say. They respond to the emotional signal you send before the words even happen. So if you speak in tension, their nervous system tenses. If you speak more certainty, their nervous system calms. If you are scattered, they kind of mirror that scattered. If you speak grounded, they become more grounded. And this is the real reason that top speakers or the people that you look up to or the CEOs you look up to in the world, they look pretty calm when they speak because they're actually trying to regulate the room's nervous system without anyone noticing. You know, I remember when I walked into a room of a bunch of private equity guys. You could imagine a mahogany table, a bunch of guys in suits sitting around it. I'm the youngest person by far. I'm the only female. I know it's a stereotype, but it's what happened. At that point, we were coming in to talk about my company. And there was no chair for me. Nobody stood up. Nobody asked to pull up a chair. And they were sort of all arguing on top of each other, talking about things, ignoring me. And there's many ways I could have approached this conversation. But I walked in and I pulled up a chair and I just sat down quietly and I waited. I didn't try to speak over them. I didn't try to push through them. I just sat there like I had all the time in the world for them to figure out their small things. Because here's why. I made a promise to myself that I do not make myself small for small men. And I don't think you should do so either. You know, I've walked into PE meetings where everyone is talking over each other like caffeinated squirrels. I don't play that game. I sit, quiet, and within like 30 to 90 seconds, the entire energy shifts back towards you. because people mirror these micro behaviors faster than they actually process your words. They would never listen to me if I started piping in, if I started shouting, if I tried to get their attention. Instead, quietly let the room come to you. And then there's this other thing that's fascinating about the brain and the way you communicate, and that is that the brain is addicted to novelty, not logic. So they call this the orienting response. So if you want to instantly grab somebody's attention, you need to give them something unexpected, right? So there's a Russian neuroscientist that discovered this reflex. But anytime a brain encounters novelty, it diverts a lot of processing power to it. And so your brain is actually wired to prioritize surprise, curiosity, pattern breaks over logical information. That's how we get you on TikTok with these crazy clickbait little videos that happen, right? So the way you start a conversation matters more than the conversation itself, which is crazy. If you lead with something that disrupts the brain, that is surprising fact, a bold statement, a strange question, the brain literally has to pay attention, and then it has to stick there for a second because it's actually manually processing it, sort of like a car starting up a motor slowly. So I want you to ask yourself, how many times do you worry about all the things that you're going to say to somebody, but not just what the first sentence is? 3, I think people judge your intelligence by clarity, not complexity. This took me a long time to realize. It's called the simplicity anchor. So a study from the University of Munich found something really fascinating. When speakers use simple language, listeners rate them as smarter, more competent, more trustworthy. But when speakers use complicated or overly technical language, listeners assume they're hiding something insecure, not as smart as they look. And I've seen this firsthand. When you go into an investment meeting, one of the first things you want to do is you want the other person to think that you're smart. You're asking for money from them. But immediately listen to it next time you get your spidey senses up on somebody because they start using words